Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today, I'm at home, obviously doing my what's next videos. This one's on Sergey Derevyanchenko, the former three-time world title challenger. Um, so today, gonna get into what he possibly could have coming up following a tough loss to Carlos Adamas, the fourth loss for Derevyanchenko in his last five fights. It's disappointing. I like Derevyanchenko, and I thought it was a risk after a 15-month layoff and the loss to Jamal Charlo, which by far of the five losses was the most convincing. And he got hit with a lot of good shots by Charlo in that fight. I thought coming back after 15 months off and taking on Carlos Adames was a risky fight, and it proved to be true as he lost a close majority decision over 10 rounds. But after the loss, what's next for Sergey Derevyanchenko is tough to say. So let's start with running through the top 10 and see what he could do. I currently still have Derevyanchenko ranked 10th. That's how good he's done in losing four of his last five fights at middleweight. That he's fought the who's who. He's fought Daniel Jacobs. I believe that was in 2018 and came up short by a split decision. He then took on I forgot who he beat to become the mandatory number one contender again. And then he took on Triple G in 2019 and came up just short, losing a close, controversial decision in that one. And then a year later in 2021, just last year, or 2020, just last year, he took on Jamal Charlo and got soundly beat by a unanimous decision, and then waited 15 months and lost to Carlos Adames just last weekend. So, tough defeat for Derevyanchenko. Looking, we'll see what he does. Let's run through the top 10 real quick and see what's possible. First up is number one, Gennady Golovkin, a rematch. Now, I've always felt Derevyanchenko deserved a rematch with Triple G, but right now, what's the point? Triple G is supposed to be fighting Ryota Murata next. It'd be tough to make this fight anyway with Triple G on DAZN and Derevyanchenko over on the PBC. And really, for Triple G, it would make no sense for him to fight him, even if he beat Derevyanchenko convincingly the second time around. Derevyanchenko's lost two fights since, so yeah, it wouldn't make sense. Number two, Demetrius Andrade. Andrade's looking to move up in weight, possibly, or a big fight here at 160. I really believe he's probably going to move up in weight instead of fighting Kazakh style Amanakhanuli, Janabek Amanakhanuli. And to face Derevyanchenko now, following another loss for Derevyanchenko, I doubt he'd be into that. Number three is a rematch with Jamal Charlo, the undefeated WBC champion. That went out the window, a rematch with him when he lost to Adamas. Now Adamas is in line to fight Jaime Manguia in a final eliminator, and Derevyanchenko finds himself asked out of the Jamal Charlo sweepstakes in a rematch. So that one ain't going to happen next either. Number four is undefeated former junior middleweight champion Jaime Manguia. Well, this was supposed to be Derevyanchenko's next fight. It was supposed to be against Manguia in a final eliminator, and the winner would get Charlo. But the loss to Adames has taken him out of that equation. I doubt Manguia fights him now or even wants to. So not likely right here. Number five is Erislandy Lara. You know what? I think if this guy had a shot at a top 10 guy, Lara would be the guy. And I think Lara might take this kind of fight with Derevyanchenko coming off a loss and Lara probably being in line for the winner of Triple G and Murata. I think Lara would stay away from it at first, but if he had no choice and he wanted to just stay busy, or it didn't look like he was going to get the winner of Murata Triple G if the WBA doesn't order that, then I think it's very possible we could see Lara and Derevyanchenko, but I'm gonna lean towards the less likely on this one. What makes it likely is that they're both with the PBC. Okay, number six is Janabek Amanakhanuli, the undefeated number one contender in the WBO now. That's not going to happen. Either Amanakhanuli is going to get the title shot against Demetrius Andrade, or he's going to fight for the vacant title, and Derevyanchenko is not in that equation. Number seven is Carlos Adames, which would be a rematch. I mean, the only way I could see a rematch happening is if the WBC ordered Manguia and Charlo to happen next. and didn't have a final eliminator. But why would Adamas take a rematch now when he's clearly in line for something? Even though I'd like to see a rematch over 12 rounds this time, I'd like to see a rematch, but I think Adamas and his people are going to stay away from it. The only reason I think it could be possible is because they're both with the PBC. Number 8 is Chris Eubank Jr. Doubt it. He's fighting Liam Williams in January. After that, he's probably going to want to go straight into a big fight like with Triple G, somebody of that sort, or a title fight. And Derevyanchenko, to him, would be taking a step back. Number 9 is Ryota Murata, the WBA Super Champion. Not likely here. Murata is supposed to be fighting Triple G next in a unification bout, and if he gets through that one, I think it's very likely he would, he would probably be fighting Erislandy Lara in a mandatory fight, in the second half of the year because Lara is a WBA regular champion. And finally, at number 10 is Derevyanchenko. So the other option that I want to mention for Derevyanchenko if he doesn't return to 160 is why not, he's always been a small guy at 160. If he can make the weight, why not go down to 154? There's a lot of PBC guys there. There's a lot of opportunities there at 154. It's kind of a more wide open division. And I think that division might make a little bit more sense for him. So we'll see what happens, but I think that might be the best bet for Derevyanchenko to start over. I think he's 36 now, so he really needs to get himself back in the mix somehow if he wants to continue and make another run at a title. And I think 154 is probably better suited for him, being that he's a small middleweight. So that's it. That's what's next on former 3-time world title challenger Sergey Derevyanchenko. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.